Hi, I'm Dave, owner of Future Past Vintage Collectibles, here with my daughter Rachel.
Hello.
As always, coming to you every week, bringing all kinds of content, aren't we?
All kinds.
Like what?
Well, we do unboxings. We show you guys the comics that we like. If you're looking for hot comics, we're not the place for you.
Yeah, we're not that channel.
We're not. We like Bronze Age, mainly, but also lots of other stuff. But our focus is bronze.
Yeah, high-grade bronze, it's what I wanted to sell. I think I'm the only person that really focuses on that, but we've been very successful in selling them. So
We have a lot of them.
I think we've sold over 1,000 books in our claim sales so far, and counting. And that's one at a time, raw books. I want to be that place that you go to if you're looking for something from the late 60s through the late 70s. And then we have a lot of copper. We also have been selling a lot of silver,
Yep.
But bronze is like where our heart is. And you'll be able to tell a little bit by the books I show today. And none of these are hot, but they're cool. a lot of horror books and stuff like that. So that's kind of what our channel does. We used to do unboxings. We don't do that so much.
Yeah, we don't really send to CGC anymore.
Yeah, I've decided to stop doing that because it seems like they're making all the money. I don't know. It's like you send them a new book and then you can't even sell the new book for the slab cost, and made a lot of choices that I'm not making anymore. So I think I'd rather just try to sell them to people. And so far we've been 100% successful. The reason I'm sharing that with you, it's a switch in the market, and the market's being disrupted a bit. So there's a lot of people that do what we do, a lot, and people have choices. So you can go to people in claim sales and buy one type of book and then go to another one. They're selling completely different types of books.
So true.
We focus on high grade. So a lot of people might just say this is a nice book. We tell you what it is.
Yep.
We are going to have a sale, though, here on YouTube. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so last Friday we did like an impromptu live stream here on YouTube where we were testing out the waters because we want to do a claim sale on YouTube. And by we, I mean me and my sister. Her name's Sarah. So yeah, my sister and I are going to be here this Saturday on June 17th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we have hundreds of books to show you guys. It's a little different. We also do claim sales on Mondays, and those really focus on high-grade bronze books. We sell a lot of high-grade bronze books on Mondays over on Instagram. This is going to be a little different. We'll still have bronze, but we'll also have copper, and we'll have some silver and a lot of moderns also. Lots of different kinds of stuff, lots of lower price stuff. And so we're really excited to see if you guys like it. We had a really good time on Friday last week. We were only up for like an hour.
Yeah, we sold every book we put up there.
Yeah.
And then I drove her nuts by bringing up more, but
You did.
not to languish on that. That's kind of what we do. We sell all of our books in claim sales. We're actually going to kind of shut down eBay for a while and just focus on this. It's nice to be in touch with people and be able to actually have a transaction with a human being rather than some software taking that away from us. Mm-hmm. And we've been really successful. And there's a lot of people that are coming back every week, and we're getting a bunch of new people. I've blown out some keys.
Yeah.
While our channel's not about keys, when we have them, we know what they are. I
mean,
we're very aware of the current market, and my specialty is more in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, going into the 90s. But, we still know what's happening, and we stay really current on what's happening in comic books right now, today. But that's not my focus, is to try to run out and get keys and flip them. Usually the stuff I've had for years.
Yeah, we're not key flippers here.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, we'll see you on Saturday at 12 p.m. If you are interested, I'm going to throw the jot form down below if you would like to be a part of the claim sale on Saturday. You just have to fill that out so we can invoice you.
Yeah.
And we're really excited. So we'll see you guys there. And I'll post on the community tab. So if you're not already, click the little notification bell and subscribe so that you can know when we're going live.
and one last thing before I get into a lot of comic books here. We buy collections. We'd love to buy your comic books if you want to sell. Check us out. We're easy to deal with, and we give the most money, especially for raw books.
Our email is down below also if you want to shoot us an email if you're interested in selling.
Yep. Anyway, want to talk about some books?
Yeah, let's look at some comics.
I'm going to show a lot of obscure things that I picked up. I don't even think I've shown you this, but this is Horror in the Dark #2, and that's a Richard Corbin cover. If you guys aren't familiar with Richard Corbin, he did a lot of stuff in underground comics, and he was a horror science fiction artist from the 70s and 80s. I love his work. So this is a pound cover that's got a Bernie Wrightson story in it. So this series right here, Twisted Tales, I think for me, it's a must-have on my list. I pick up, and you'll see I have multiple copies. I will sell them, but as a collector, I would still want to have more than one. I don't know why. Some people are like that. Any of you guys like that where you are planning on selling it, but every time you see a copy of something, you buy it? It's like that can't just sit there without a home.
This is one of those because we definitely have more than one copy of these.
Yeah. Another Alien Worlds.
It's number 3. That one's really cool.
Yeah. So this Dave Stevens cover right here, this is the stuff I really love in Alien Worlds. And here's another Dave Stevens cover from True Love, which was a DC series that they kind of like did a little 80s reboot in this. But it's very cool. Fantastic art. More Dave Stevens art.
Is that Elvis?
Yeah. It's a great cover. I pick up everything Dave Stevens, just so you guys know. Check this out. There's another copy of his work. Alien Worlds number 3 or 4. That's number 4, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that's pretty cool, I guess. This is the number 2, but I'm going to show this. This is Shade the Changing Man. This is Steve Ditko art from the late 70s. You know what? These are not expensive, but I love them. I've always had a set of these in my collection since I can remember. In the 80s, I always have a set of these. Really high grade. I was able to pick up really affordably. So yeah, here we go. Some gold keys. This is from the 70s, and these are some painted covers. So a lot of these I really wasn't interested in a long time ago. I am now because they're hard to find in grade. So there I go. Horror comics, hard to find in grade in my era, which is Bronze Age. I go after all that stuff.
We're going to show a lot of gold keys, so...
So this is Star Trek number 26. This is a Whitman edition. So these were a gold key, but Whitman ran a lot. So I really like the Whitmans. I picked these up because they're in really high grade. And I don't have these, so I do now. That's a gold key issue. And here's another gold key issue. What number is that?
37.
Number 37. And here's number 40. This next cover is really cool. Yeah, so back in the day, Star Trek was Star Wars. I mean, that was our thing before Star Wars, right? Everyone was in Star Trek. That's a sick cover right there. I like that. Outer space cover.
Wrong with space.
Here's some Flash Gordons late in the numbers, and I'll just hand you those too. More 70s books, both Whitmans, partial photograph covers. This was a television show, and it was also a movie, if you happen to remember. There was a Flash Gordon movie that had a Queen soundtrack, Queen head song, but there was also, it was a TV show in the 50s, black and white. And one Flash Gordon I left out. The Occult Files of Dr. Spectre, this is number 12. These are gold keys. That's pretty sick. This is number 13. This is sick. Alien Worlds number 1, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Fantastic art. More shades. I just picked them up because they're in such high grade, and I like them. I really like Steve Ditko. I like the Ditko even after Spider-Man and the stuff he was doing. These are cool, and I was excited to get these. So the Western Kid number 1, super copy, and this is very tough to get in high grade. Early 70s book in picture frame. And the thing I'd like to point out, and this kind of stuff bothers me. Right here is a printer's defect. Yeah, I almost didn't buy it because of that, and that's just printing. It was just off center for a second, and it kind of rubbed. But the book was so high grade, and they're so hard to find, I still picked it up. And this isn't rare or anything, but it's my era, and it's super high grade. So I buy stuff like this, and this is Marvel Super Action number 1. I think it's a one-shot. So this is a book that I was very happy to get. This was the belle of the ball in this bunch of groups. This is Blitzkrieg number 1. I've always had a copy of this, and I don't have one now. I sold my copy like 2 weeks ago.
Well,
so,
now you do.
Yeah. Love this book. Here's Marvel Adventures featuring Daredevil. I think it's also a one-shot. Another cool 70s book. If I can get these in 94, 96, I get them every time. And here's a book I've owned for decades, and I might have one copy of this right now, Stalker number 1.
I think we might have shown one on here.
I probably have. This is brand new,
Yeah.
and I'm super happy to have it.
It's a cool cover.
You guys have probably noticed when I'm standing here, there's books behind us, and I used to put like keys and big books. I don't do that anymore, and there's a reason. I put the stuff I like. It's probably stuff you're not going to see on anyone else's wall, and that's probably the best part. I don't care. I really want people to see these great books. Picked up another set of Isis. And
if you remember, he got a bunch of slabs.
Yeah, I've got them like in 9.4 and 9.6. I have a couple 9.8s. I want them all in 9.8.
This one looks really, really
if
nice.
Possible. I'm becoming less 9.8 centric and more grade centric. It's not about the numbers, it's about how the book looks. So I might have a 9.6 in my hand, or even a 9.4 that has perfect staples, 4 sharp corners, and it might have a defect somewhere on the back cover or something. Or I might have a nicer book that might be a 9.6 with a defect in the front cover I always see. So I'm really about how the book looks in hand. There's a way I want a book to look.
Well, and like the highest grade for some books is a 9.4, so...
And there's
that exists out
the highest grade for some books. A lot of the stuff, the war stuff that I'm really interested in, you cannot find it at 7.0.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to settle for a 5.5 on that stuff because 5.5 has more wear than I want. So I'm always looking for 7.0s and higher. 7.0 is a jackpot for Star Spangled War stories, for instance, from the early 60s. People read those. They did not collect them for prosperity. There was a couple of copies. We were able to see one of the best collections in America in terms of grade.
I'll link that video right here.
And they were in 8.0, 8.5 sometimes, and they're not possible to find those. And that particular collector, he looked for years, sometimes for decades, to find one copy. So I got a bunch of Midnight Tales. This is number 8. Some of these are cool. Some of these are really funky and weird. There's a darkness, and I'm just talking about tone, to all these covers on Charlton comics. This is a pretty cool cover. So the reason I picked these up, you guys, because they're near mint or near mint plus, and some of these can improve with the press. I mean, impressing a 9.4 or 9.6 is really kind of folly. You're lucky to have a book this old and that grade. You don't want to mess with something that's already great. But here's a really cool cover. These marionettes. Midnight Tales. Here's a Midnight Tales number 9. Check out the spider cover. Yeah, I like that.
These are cool.
Yeah, you would. How would you feel if that spider was behind you?
I would pass away. Literally pass away.
Here's another issue.
Are these your PC books?
Somewhat. At some point, I'm going to sell them all, but I'm looking for them. I'm picking up as many copies as I can. I'll probably decide which ones I'm going to keep and which ones I'm going to sell.
I found a Charlton horror book at a antique store the other day that I got my dad.
That was sick.
You liked it.
Yeah, I
don't remember what number it is.
I'm liking them more and more. This is a good science fiction cover. I like that. You want to move your fingers.
Oh, yeah, hang on.
So I can see it. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
I was covering up the best part.
Yeah. Here's another one. This is reminiscent to me of early 50s horror.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as graphic as it could be.
Like
There
Frankenstein
would be like heads
cover?
hanging around or something. Yeah. Love stuff like this. When I can pick it up, I do.
I mean, he did. Look. Oh my gosh, that's really cool.
Isn't that great?
Scary.
So I picked up a Tex Dawson Gunslinger number 1. Look, this is a killer Steranko cover. If you guys don't know about this and you like Jim Steranko, boom. Love it. And I got one more copy of Shade. This is number 3. I got the whole set. Yeah, and I probably have 3 sets of these. I just hold them. I'm not selling that for $5. You run into that sometimes, like you'll have a book, it's a great book, it's hard to find, especially in 9.4, 9.6, but they're selling for $40. I'd rather have the book than the money. Just because I sell books, but some books, like I know I can't replace this. Mm-hmm. I'll wait.
We were talking about that today.
Yeah, until the money entices me enough to I think I can sell it now. I'm not trying to make a killing. I'm just trying to put some value to things I know are valuable. And it has nothing to do with me liking some books more than others. I know what I can find in near mint or near mint plus. I know what I can't. So that's all the books I have.
No, they're not.
What else do I got?
Have you heard of Neal Adams?
Oh.
Have you ever heard of him?
I have 2 more books I forgot about because they're in a different spot. I don't know.
Oh, I'm asking them. Have you heard of Neal Adams?
Yeah, I did pick up a couple slabs I forgot about. This is a Phantom Stranger number 17, Neal Adams cover. Man running from the train. What a trope. We've seen many, many times. I don't have this copy in 9.6, so I picked it up. And it's part of the collection.
Very excited to get this one.
It's funny, I didn't even think about it, but I have a couple of Phantom Strangers right here, too.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Let's go ahead and show them. We'll go show that one.
We're looking for what the other one is. We've shown this one before.
I call this the War Games cover because it reminds me of the movie War Games, but this is one of my favorite Adams covers from horror.
I like the tiny...
and here's another Neal Adams cover from Phantom Stranger.
And this one's a 9.6. It was slabbed.
Phantom Stranger rocks. I mean, they have some fantastic covers. Did you show me? Yeah.
I haven't yet.
I still have the slab. Mm-hmm. I cracked this puppy because it's better seen raw. Just because I like this book, and I don't care if I've shown it before. It's worth showing again. This is Mr. Bernie Wrightson. This is for these are PC books behind me, by the way. All of these.
Yeah, we were going to get this one slabbed, and we just decided not to do that.
I think I'd rather have it raw. I love this cover. It's scary as all get out.
It's in a Mylar, which makes them even nicer.
And then this Bernie Wrightson cover here. This is probably one of the hardest ones to get in grade. This is in near mint, by the way. And I'm not selling that because I just can't replace it easily. And even if I was to get a copy of this, a 9.4 of this today would probably cost me $800, you know?
Yep.
So, anyway, I don't want to show them all.
You can see them.
Yeah, you can see them.
Also, do you like our new shelf?
Pretty nice. I think that my son-in-law, Jonathan, built this for us because they've been traveling. And
I love it.
That was a little unfortunate because I knew in the first place if I needed shelves, he would have built them, but they weren't here, so we had to buy some. These are a little better suited. We're going to roll this out on Saturday for our live sale. That's right.
There's one more book. A Neal Adams one. Yeah.
Check it out.
Have you heard of Neal Adams?
Check this out. So this is a copy of Flash 203. I've been looking for a nice copy. This is a very nice 9.4. I love this Neal Adams cover. It's one of my favorites from this particular 15-cent era. There's a couple others I really like. But this is for me. You'll see me sneak up and buy flashes. I'll show you guys. If you're not familiar with some of the art, I really do collect artists. And Neal Adams did a couple of flash covers I really like.
That's such a crazy cover.
It really is.
I've never seen anything like that.
It's fantastic. This is great for 1971. So I want to show it if you're not familiar with it or if you don't care about flash. There are some cool covers. That's all.
That's all we have.
Did I run out now?
That's all. What'd you say?
Did I run out of books to
now
show?
We have, yes.
Okay, I showed a bunch of stuff. Let's give something away.
Oh, okay.
Only, it doesn't matter. If you haven't watched to this point, it doesn't matter. What do I want to give away?
I don't know. We're going to give this away.
Yep, that's actually from my PC. I've had that book for 30 years. I just walked over, grabbed a book.
We did just hit 3,000
nice
subscribers.
Cover. Yeah.
So.
Hi, 3,000.
Hello.
If you're new, keep coming back because we have different stuff every time.
So if you want to be entered to win this, all you have to do is subscribe, like this video, and comment down below. You'll be entered to win, and then we'll announce it next week.
Yep. And we'll send it to you free of charge, and we send to a couple of different countries. Not anywhere, but...
We're doing our claim sale, our first official claim sale on YouTube at 12 p.m. PST on Saturday, June 17th. Fill out the drop form down below if you want to be able to buy something through that. And we do claim sales on Instagram every single Monday from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yep.
Which is also linked down below.
Link it.
See you guys there.
Bye.
Goodbye.